The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to the raw and uncensored Ambitchious Podcast. I'm your host, the original HBIC, Katie Boyd. During our time here together, I will be instilling all of the strength, power, and determination you will need to use the very stones thrown at you to build your ultimate empire. We will redefine the word bitch from the derogatory to the acronym, being in total control of herself. So let's adjust our crowns and prepare to live life ambitiously. Oh yeah, here I am, the original HBIC, Katie motherfucking Boyd. And over here to my here we are again. And over here to my right hand side is my my backup dancer, Jennifer Lopez. Matthew Martin Babine.
And also known as Maddie B.
Maddie B. Hi.
Hi, how are you doing, babe?
I'm really good. I'm feeling ambitious AF.
As usual.
I'm ready to talk about how we're gonna unplug.
I'm unplugging now.
But before you're always unplugged. You're like Eric Clapton.
Unplugged. Eric Clapton. That's a good one.
But before, I always love to read our ambitious iTunes podcast review of the week.
Yes.
And it is from Lori B. Vaseo, and she says, cuts through the BS. Had the privilege to meet Katie and Matt. Oh, God, they're always talking about Matt.
Thank you.
This is just too much. You guys cut the crap. Had the privilege to meet Katie and Matt at her first ever Business with Soul Summit, June 1st, 2019. Started listening to her podcast before the summit to get better feel for what to expect. She's genuinely caring, intuitive, and ballsy. She just calls it like she sees it, and her singing voice is like an angel. If you need someone to call you out on your bullshit, she is the gal to do it. Keep on sharing the tough love, Katie. Lori, email me at themisfitclub@gmail.com to redeem your $100 gift certificate to use towards anything KBMFC related. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day and life to do that.
That was really sweet.
Yeah.
Really
you know what's
nice.
not sweet?
What?
All the lazy motherfuckers that listen to this podcast every week and they don't go on there and they don't do shit.
Get over there and give us a review.
Get it together.
Ambitious movement.
This is how we do
Yes.
what we do.
Yes.
What do we think? We just show up here for our perfect perky racks and bald heads? For Christ almighty.
I have a perky rack and a bald head. I have both of them.
Matt does have man boobs.
Yeah,
look at those things.
They're like strength.
Mother's milk.
This milk. This is a scary situation.
Yummy. They call man boobs. They call them moobs.
Really? I didn't know. I definitely don't have any
Moobs.
moobs.
Oh, okay.
I have a rocking body over here.
Oh. All right, Justin Timberlake. Jeez Louise. All right, moving on to what we're actually here to do, which is to enlighten the masses.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm ready.
So Matt and I we had a really busy couple weeks. We had a really busy fucking lifetime.
Oh my God, we've been going. It was funny because this morning I go, that business, we looked at the Business Soul Summit and all the things we've been doing over the last couple of months. It's like, doesn't that seem like it was like 5 years ago? It's like, we're just so busy.
It's insane. But I love it because God has given us this gifts to share with gifts to share with the world.
I wouldn't change anything.
Matt gets mad at me because I'm very social. And I'll go out and I'll be very social, but then I'll need 2 days to recuperate after being social. But for some reason, because we've just been trying to do a lot of stuff.
Yes.
And cross a lot of T's and dot a lot of I's. So we had a ton of business meetings, dinner meetings, and we had friend meetings that were dinners and lunches and all this stuff. And Matt will just look at me and he's like, I just want to eat home. What the fuck? You keep me going like a monkey.
Well, we're going since this past week, and I know we were going Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night.
All day.
All day and all
Yes.
Sunday night. We got home Sunday night at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, no more.
Enough. He's like,
no
enough.
more freaking dinners and meetings.
And then I had even a couple more than you did that week. So it was crazy because we were just reflecting on that weekend. Mm-hmm. And Matt said to me, he goes, it was so crazy. We were with these people who are multimillionaires, probably billionaires, and such amazing business minds and just caring and woke and spiritual and all this stuff, right?
You're talking to people, right?
Yes, our peer groups.
Our peer groups.
And you guys know that part of the ambitious movement is finding your people, finding your tribe, finding your peer groups, and not just just like happenstance, like just manifest them.
Yes.
Like knowing what you desire in relationships. And we've been doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say this one thing. We had the best time.
Oh my God, it was awesome.
But
what did I say the next day?
Matt goes, you know what, Katie? I've been thinking, no one at all, one time, ever pulled out their phone.
No.
At any time during dinner. Not even to like be like, hey, look at this picture, or like, let's take a picture, or
no
let's
pictures,
post it.
nothing, no looking at emails, they didn't worry about anything. It was just like, we're here, we're having dinner with you.
We're having an amazing conversation.
And nobody even said that. It was just like the conversations were just awesome.
And don't get me wrong, like I love to take a picture every now and then.
Oh, yeah.
I like to have pictures in my phone, like remember times.
Yes.
But there's something like I've noticed it's very forced a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know that like when I'm with certain people, they want to take pictures because they want to post. And I know this is going to sound really snobby, but I don't give a fuck. It's my podcast. I'll say whatever I want. They want to take a picture with me to say I was out having dinner with Katie Boyd. Right. Or I was doing this thing with Katie Boyd. And like I appreciate that, but I don't know. I just didn't feel the need to do it at dinner at all, any of the days.
And the people that we were with too were like, a lot of people would want to say that they were with them.
Yes,
right?
Beyond.
And both of us was like, we don't want any of that. We just want to enjoy our time, which was really, really cool.
So it was kind of getting me thinking, and I'm like, I think that one of the reasons why I'm here on earth is to really help people wake up.
Yes.
And I know that that's your mission as well. And for me, I think the unplugging from devices and kind of just like the fake book bullshit that we all find ourselves in. Like, even if you say like, oh, God, I hate social media.
Yeah.
It's almost like this pressure when you're out that you're like, oh, dude, I need to take a picture now and I need to post it because if I don't post a picture, it never really happened, right? Or I remember someone took a picture with me the other day at an event that I was doing, and someone said, like, we were standing taking the picture and I was smiling, and then the person that was taking a picture was like, it's FBO, which means Facebook official.
Oh, I had no idea.
You didn't know that?
No.
So FBO means it's good to put on Facebook because it's a perfect picture. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, is this really the fucking world we're living in? I used to have a Polaroid camera, and I thought that thing was the best thing ever since sliced bread.
Like a Polaroid
Shake it after.
picture.
It's awesome. And I would put my Polaroids like on my closet, and I'd see all my little friends, and now it's just like Facebook, social media, Instagram, all these different things. It feels kind of not real to me.
Right.
And I know that we all need I'm using my quotation fingers for the people out there that can't see me.
Did you say the word need?
No, I'm not saying I need.
I'm just kidding.
I'm saying people
we had a whole podcast on you killing me over the need.
And you haven't really said it that much,
I don't say
which
it
I'm very
again.
proud. And I know what you're saying about like you do need something, but you can change your language a little bit. And I'm saying that people think that they need,
yes,
not moi,
yes.
Other people out there think that they need to take pictures and post, and they have to be on social media all the time because they don't want to miss out on things. And a lot of people who have businesses where they have to use social media for their companies,
for the brand, right?
It's like constant. And I was doing a lot of social media stuff to the point where I was like getting sick of myself. Like I would say to Matt, like, I'm just so fucking sick of hearing my own voice talk. Like, it's annoying. No. And Matt's like, same.
I was like,
yeah. But do you know
at least she understands what I'm talking, where I'm coming
your
from.
Damn mouth, or I'll shut it for you, Louise.
No, it's important to kind of it is important. We wake up in the morning and I unplug right immediately. I'm not checking
That's
my
never
phone.
plugged in.
I'm never plugged in. I'm like,
ever.
I'm probably because I'm older than you, and I'm like, I'm freaking unplugged.
Like
I'm
Matt has
everything.
Matt has an actual person who does all his social media because he's like, I don't like this. And I'm like, no one fucking likes it, Matt.
Some
you
people
just have to do it.
Some people like it.
I don't think so. I think that people that look like they like it actually are like putting on a show because they're influencers, so they have to act like they actually like social media.
I was in a business meeting the other day, and my phone was ringing. Right, I was expecting a phone call. I leave my phone on, so if you need me, or if Karina needs me for some reason, and I did see who I did see who was calling. I'm like, and the person's like, "Oh, are you going to take that?" And I'm like,
I'm in a meeting with you.
No, I says, I have the phone for my convenience. 90% of the time, it's outgoing if I want to achieve something or make something happen, and for emergencies. But if I'm with a person, I'm not going to take a phone call over being with a live person,
I agree.
right? And that's insane. But people are so like stimulus response where they think they have to just, stop, I got to do this. Stop, I got to do this.
It's so annoying.
You know, and I think to live really with intention is like, I don't get up in the morning. I don't watch the news. I don't know what's going on in the universe. It doesn't really bother me. And the stuff that I need to
you know what's going on in your world and in your universe.
Yes. Yeah. That's important to me. What's going on? Where am I going? Where are we moving our company?
Yes.
How's Karina doing?
Yes.
How are you doing?
The important stuff.
The good stuff.
We cannot save the world.
No.
Right? Like, I'm not going to probably in my lifetime find the cure for cancer or feed 1 million people in Africa. That's probably not what I'm going to do. I have other things to do.
Right.
So I want to focus on just that mission at hand, right?
Yes. You can't do it. You can only really give your attention to that one thing. Now, you're one of your ambitious, unbelievable people, maybe doing those things.
Right. Absolutely. So I compiled a list of the top 5 ways that I and you unplug, and in the hopes that it will help inspire everyone out there in ambitious land. So, number 1, no phone until all the hardest things are done in the morning. This is so hard for people. Really hard. So every event that I go to, I talk about this, and I always say to people out in the audience, like, how many of you, when you roll over in the morning, roll over and check their phone? And literally everyone's hands go up, maybe except like 2 people. Oh. And I was like, and don't fuck with me and say, I use my phone for my alarm, because that's bullshit. Right. You shouldn't even be sleeping with a phone in your room, right? And we have an old school like digital alarm clock.
Love it.
It's like grampy.
Until the pillow's like too high and it's like in the middle of the night and I'm like trying to get up.
But Matt will say to me in the morning, what time is it? I'm like, because it's on my side of the bed, and I'm like,
control freak.
Shut the fuck up. Yeah.
Control freak. She's got the clock. She's got all the stuff over.
That's right. That's right. I DJ your life and just deal with it. But don't look at the phone until all the hardest things are done. So for me, I get up in the morning. I do not use my phone for alarm clock, as I just said. So I get up in the morning. I make myself a cup of coffee. I do all my rituals. And I journal, and I set my intentions for the day, and I go to my gratitude, and then I get dressed. I go to the gym. I train if it's a training day. I come home. I shower. I meditate, and that's when I pick up my phone. Right. So good. Like people will text me all morning.
That's great discipline.
Well, and like you're actually better at it than me, because sometimes I wake up and I want to write because I'm like, I'm inspired to write. And sometimes I like use my phone to do things while I'm on the computer. And then all of a sudden, like, you start seeing the text come through and I can get a little like squirrely. You're very good at just saying like, today I'm not doing that until this. Yep. So you're actually better at it than I am in a lot of ways. That's the only nice thing I'm going to say about you today on this podcast. So I hope that you really enjoyed that thoroughly. So try to do in your life what the hardest things are. So obviously your hardest things are not my hardest things. My hardest things is like just getting awoke and like doing my rituals. But your hardest things might be like spending some quality time with your children before they go off to school. Right? Because I see like so many moms and they're like, the kids are getting dressed and they're feeding them and they're scrolling on social media. It's not really helping anyone. Right. So do the hardest things first. Number 2, this is something that we are very good about, is planning a full digital detox once a week. So it's like usually heaven. Sundays. Yes. And what we do is we just say like, you know what, we are going to do something really fun. So we're going to like totally go off the reservation, get out of hypnotic rhythm, choose like a new restaurant that we want to go to, or take a drive somewhere, or do like some activity that we've never really done before, just to spice it up.
Absolutely.
And we just like, one of us will have our phone, but we only use it if there would be like an emergency.
Just leave it in the car.
We don't look at it. We're not picking it up. We're not checking emails, because I think that the device, I don't think our brains they're very primordial. I don't think that they were really truly made to see this stuff all the time, to be in such stimulus response mode, and to also take in so much information.
I mean, think about it. Just in one swipe, or any kind of pictures or email, or all that data is just going through, and not only your conscious mind, but your subconscious mind. So whether you're not paying attention to it or you are. It's
Absolutely.
going in there somewhere, right? And it's way too much information.
I think so.
And I think you're always the one that's saying, years ago, when we came out in this universe, we had like a house here, a little hut, and I'm over here, and there's this other guy over here. And that's really what we were able to
Well, they say like there was actually a study, I think, at Johns Hopkins University about the like that reptilian, that really primordial part of your brain. And they came up with this whole idea where you're living in your village, and that's all you're supposed to know is what's actually happening in your village. Like, what are we eating? What did we kill today? Who's having a baby? Who's hurt? What's happening?
Yes.
And now we know what's happening in China, what's happening in Japan, what's happening all over our country.
The Middle East, what's happening in it's too much.
And then
overload.
I don't know how you feel, but then I start to feel helpless, like, because I'm such a caring, loving person. I'm like, how can I help these people? And it's like, you fucking can't.
No, you can't. You have to be able to help who you can in your own tribe, right? Or your family.
Absolutely.
And, you're not going to create harmony out there in the world, but you can as much as you can, like through podcasts, through education and stuff like that. But you can create harmony within your own home and say, hey, I'm here. This is how I'm going to set my life up, and I'm going to detox from everything. Social media, news, business, problems,
and then
whatever.
Your brain feels like it actually got a chance to slow down.
I feel so much more rested going back to work on Monday
hugely
than when I have that detox on Sunday. You too?
But sometimes, like on Sunday, I'll start to talk to Matt about business stuff, and he'll be like, "Kenny, what the fuck? I need to feel like I actually took a fucking day off. Shut the fuck up." And
asking
I'm like,
me questions about work.
All right. And then like an hour will go by and I'll be like, hey, I had this idea. And Matt's like, please, Jesus, give her a fucking tranquilizer and a margarita.
I don't want to talk about billing stuff, and I don't want to talk about collections. I don't want to talk about that. That's the work stuff. Now, you want to talk to me about creation? That I'm up for talking about on Sunday.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
What's our life going to be? What do you think is going to happen?
Yes.
But not, we have to go in here. Did Sammy Sue do this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't really know.
Sometimes that's like our only day to like come together.
Connect.
And then I start dumping my shit. Listen, I have fucking problems too. I'm ambitious, but I'm still fucked up, okay?
We're human. We're all working on that
We heal
shit.
in layers.
I'm always healing.
Oh my God. I need to exfoliate some of those right now. Number 3, this is one of my things. Always bring a book with you. So it could be an audiobook, but I actually like to have a real physical, like paperback or hardcover book with me because like I have noticed, just like you go to the dentist or you go to the doctors, or you're waiting at an appointment and everyone just has their phone and they're just going scrolling. No one even talks to each other. Like remember back in the day, you'd be in a waiting room and just people would just talk. Or like if you're at like a restaurant and you're sitting at the bar, like the bar used to be the place where people would actually speak to each other and meet each other and be social. And then if you didn't want to speak to those people, you went and sat in a different part of the restaurant. Yeah. But I've been noticing like, you go to the bar and no one even speaks. No one even looks up from their phone. They're just scrolling. And it just makes me sad because I'm like,
there's no human connection.
There's no, like, it's so crazy because we say we have never been more connected in all the time that we've been roaming the planet, but I disagree. I think that we're connected in a technical way, but we're not connected like this, like eyes to eyes, brain to brain, heart to heart. And I think that that's why, in my opinion, that's why people are really suffering hardcore with depression and anxiety and never feeling like they're enough and loneliness and all the negative things that really just stem from fear-based thinking. We're humans. We have that part of our brains that are fear-based. So we are going to go into those holes sometimes when we're not filling up our cup and we don't feel connected to people.
Right.
Like
Absolutely.
I work from home a lot. And you're not really around because you're, working your 15 jobs, man. But like during the day, like I'll just kind of be like, I just kind of want to like pick up the phone. Like I'll call Jill sometimes. I'll be like, "Hey, girl," and she's like, "Oh God, what does she want?"
she's on a detox.
She's on a detox. Yeah, she's like, "Oh God, the
I can't
phone is
pick
ringing."
this up. I better pick it up. It's Katie.
But I just like I don't love to talk on the phone all the time. But I sometimes just want to like catch up with a friend and just talk like how we used to in the 80s.
No, that's kind of nice though. I like talking to people.
I do too.
Usually during the day I do. At nighttime, I'm not a big nighttime talker. Like, my mother and my father would be on the phone.
Talker. Matt's a nighttime drinker.
That's right. That is
Matt's
right.
like, shush, inserts dry martini into the gullet.
And be quiet.
Yeah.
I'm having my cocktail now and relaxing.
But you either, set the intention to bring a book to when you're waiting.
Yeah.
And so you can actually learn something. Or just like, I don't know, fucking talk to the person next to you.
God forbid.
That would be nice. People really, it's so crazy because some of the most wonderful conversations I've ever had were like with people who like are a little bit older than me at like a bar. Like one time we were at the Capitol Grill in Burlington. There was like an older couple sitting next to us. They probably were like in their early 70s.
Yep.
And they were just really cute. And they were like, feeding each other and stuff. And I'm like, look at these guys. They're so cute. And we started talking to them and they were like so wealthy, had all these companies. Like they were such go-getters. They spoke the same language as us. And I'm like, I'm so glad that we talked to them.
And they tell us the problems too, because they were having a lot of difficulties with staffing.
Yeah.
And, and it's like, you're still going through this.
You're
and I'm
70 and you're still dealing
why
with
don't you
this
retire,
shit, man.
for God's sake?
No, but they love it.
They love it. They love
it.
They love the spark.
But if we didn't if we weren't open to that,
right.
we would have never had that conversation.
And sometimes I'm not. You're better than I am because I'm like, oh God.
Matt will be like, Matt will hit me. He'll hit me. He'll be like, shut the fuck up. Don't talk to anybody.
I don't want to meet
Katie,
anybody.
Jesus. And I'm like, I'll be quiet. Yeah. And it's usually after I've had a couple of glasses of wine that I'm like feeling a little open. Yeah. But Matt sometimes. But aren't you happy that I do that sometimes? Because you learn like a lot of cool stuff about people. Mm-hmm. Number 4, leave your phone at home. I know that's very scary for a lot of people, but one of us will usually, when we're trying to really do a digital detox, we'll leave our phone at home. And I noticed like when I first started doing this, and a lot of my clients who do this said, oh my God, it was like, I never realized how addicted I was to my phone until I didn't have it. It's such an extension of your physical body.
Yes.
Wow. And even when it's crazy because even when I'm working from home and I'm like walking around the house, I find myself like bringing my phone in every room with me. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? But we're just so used to always having your phone right there.
That's weird. Meaning I've done it. No, I mean.
Thanks. Asshole.
No, I was just thinking to myself.
That looks like, that's weird.
I do the same thing. I was carrying my phone the other day. And I'm like, why do I need this? And it was like
you're taking a shit and the phone is like in the bathroom with you, and you're just like, this is gross.
On the island and I'm taking it into the bedroom, and then and then I'm off. It's not like anyone's going to be calling me. But right? It's like, what? But
you never know because someone could, and you might miss something. It's just so stupid.
That's weird.
Yeah. Thanks, Matt. Leave your damn phone at home once in a while. It's really good, and obviously, I wouldn't if you have little kids and you can't get totally away from them.
Yes.
I'm not saying one of you has to have a phone. Yeah. The children might hurt themselves.
Yeah, you just keep it in the car or whatever. Well, you left yours at home the other night, and I took mine.
It was great.
It was great.
Because even though sometimes I don't want to talk to my husband when I'm out to dinner, I just want to eat my food. I prompted to talk to him more because I do not have my phone.
That would be a comfortable silence, which I'm fine with that too.
Sometimes comfortable silence is nice.
Sometimes you get sick of your own voice.
I think we should have a comfortable silence right now on the
podcast. I don't think it's a good
just kidding. Just kidding. That would be bad for business.
It wouldn't be good for business. It wouldn't be good for a podcast. You'd hear crickets in the background.
Yes.
Not good.
Yes. And last but not least, this obviously ties into the actual, detoxing itself, but streamlining your work is actually another way to help you detox from your phone. Mm-hmm. So, for instance, on Tuesdays are like my podcast days.
Yep.
All right. So I'll do all my podcast stuff. And then I also do my MailChimps. So I'll do that all in one block. And I just know, okay, Tuesdays I do my MailChimps, which go out every week. And Tuesdays I do my podcasts. That's my focus. I'm not selling, I'm not creating, I'm not writing, I'm not doing anything else.
That's your time to do that.
Right? Because what happens is you get overstimulated, and then I'm on the phone, then I'm on the laptop, then I'm watching something on this. I'm like, this is whacked out.
Not good.
So time chunking. So for me, I talk about time chunking all the time. I talk about not being a donkey. That's another podcast from back in the day that if you have not listened to, go back and listen to.
I love that one.
Yeah, it's great because what we do is we just overstimulate ourselves with switching tasks. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the tasks we do in this day and age has to do with our devices.
Yep.
And it's just not good for anybody.
And I love that you do it that way because you can only do one thing awesome at a time,
Absolutely.
Right? You can have 5 things on the page.
Multitasking isn't real.
No.
It's not real.
No, it really isn't.
But people say, oh, I'm a great multitasker. I'm like, really? Because you haven't created anything since the Reagan administration. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
You're giving half your attention to all these little things.
And then everything is half-assed. Right?
Yeah. Instead of moving it, doing it, and getting it done, and it's over.
I've read things I've written when I was multitasking, and it's just junk. It's junk. It has no heart. Yep. It has no intention. So many typos, so many grammar and spelling errors. And I'm just like, now I have to go back and double my time doing this one thing that if I just focused forward,
Yep.
I would have just gotten done and moved the energy.
We've been done. Yeah, you're
So
right.
for me, I streamline by doing a myopic time focus technique. So during the day, when I'm doing whatever I'm doing for work, whether it's seeing clients or whatever, I always just set a timer and I say, okay, for the next 55 minutes or for the next hour, my ass is not leaving this thing that I'm doing. I put the phone away. And if I'm not working on a laptop and I'm doing something else, I put the laptop away and I'm just there doing what I'm supposed to do. And then I take tiny little breaks in between just to like refresh myself. And then I go back until I'm done. And I do that all day until the work is done. I don't move myself away from it and say, oh, I'll just do that tomorrow.
How much time do you usually spend before you take a break? Or like, is it half-hour increments? Or how do you...
Depends on what I'm actually doing.
Okay.
But if I'm writing, I say 55 minutes straight out writing.
Nice.
So I set, I say, Siri, set a 55-minute timer. And then as soon as I'm done with that 55 minutes, I'll take a 5-minute break. So like if I'm working from home, I'll go throw in a load of laundry. I'll make myself a cup of coffee. I'll go to the bathroom, just like little tiny things, maybe stretch.
Yep.
And then I'll go right back to my 55 minutes writing. And I'll do that all day until I'm done with the task at hand. And I did that. I'm creating that Ambitchious 28 program. And Matt goes, oh, no, that's going to take a while. And I did like the tail end of it in like one day. And he's like, how did you do this? And I just sat and I did not answer texts and I didn't look at my Facebook and I didn't look at my Instagram and I didn't look at my emails. I just sat in that space and it took me like 6 hours.
Yep.
But I did it and it's done and it's
I couldn't believe you were finished it that day. That was amazing.
I mean, I looked like a haggard bitch by the end of the day. I looked like I had been
you did not,
rode hard and hung up wet. I'm not going to lie. But I got the freaking work done. That's more than what most people can say because I have friends who are like, I'm writing my book. I'm like, oh, you've been doing that since like we graduated high school.
Not going to happen.
We're 30-something years old. Like, get it together. No, but a lot of it's fear-based, but I think a lot of it is truly just being so distracted with your device.
Yep.
And like, unless your business is run on your phone and like that's all you have.
Unless you're an Uber driver, you need to have that little bing and to go with and pick up the person.
Absolutely.
Get off your phone.
Right. And if your Uber driver's on the phone when he's Ubering you, jump out of the car.
Or if your Uber's driver's drinking and having a cocktail before he goes in Ubers, get out of that car too.
Oh, yeah, well, that guy.
Remember that guy? That was crazy.
Oh, my Lord. If I ever saw him pick me up, I'd be like, all right, I'm going to be waiting for the next Uber. Thank you very much. So
I'd be calling the police.
Right?
On him.
So think about what I said, guys. Really think about how the phone and devices are truly affecting not only your life and work, but your joy. Because I know that a lot of you love your phone, but it's a freaking joy sucker most of the time.
Yep.
So detox, detox, detox. Remember,
You'll love it.
What is it?
You'll love it.
You'll love it.
Yeah, detox.
All right, that's what Matt says. Remember, everybody, your presence is a present. And thank you to everyone out there in Ambitchious Land for being ambitious crusaders to this movement. And like I always say, see you next Tuesday.
Good job, babe.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.